Greetings, citizens. Tell you what an absolutely mind-blowing display of upcoming gameplay with the newly renamed 3.0, which would be 2.7. I, looking at this, can't think of a single gameplay type that is not entailed in Star Citizen. Everything from role-playing game, shooter, vehicles. I mean, it's got it all now. This is almost like the one-stop shop for gaming. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about today was a couple of details that you may have missed. Look right here on the Freelancer. Okay, it's going to come back to it in just a second. What you're going to notice on the Freelancer screen that I didn't catch the first time around was that right now our throttles on the ship are they're absolute throttles. Basically, you set your speed to, like, say 300, for example, if you have a 350R, and your ship gets to 300 and stops, or whatever. In a sense, it's kind of like matching target speed. Okay, look right here. She says thrust and velocity. That's interesting to me. Okay, that shows maybe they're going to an acceleration model of flight. Basically meaning in space that if you set your ship speed to 20 meters per second, that it'll be 20, 40, 60. It'll keep climbing until it reaches a certain maximum speed. And if that's the case, that's something like did a review on this channel, Evocron Legacy. They actually use an acceleration-based throttle, and it's by far a way deeper experience. And people who master the control of their throttles turn out really to be the master of the game. Now, another thing you're going to see here as well when you look at them EVAing around, they have a oxygen. And if you look here, oxygen and fuel in the lower left corner in the indicator. So it looks like the EVA is also being expanded in the sense of realism, where there's a limitation on how much output you can do with the suit before you're just going to be floating in space helpless. I agree with that completely, and I would like to see that mechanic also applied to the ships, being that more not just quantum drive fuel limitations, but actual fuel. Some people may not want to see that or whatnot, but I think that's a strategy that is anything else. Having come from a lot of sims and played a lot of different flight combat sims, resource management, fuel and stuff. Like when I played the World War II flight sims, sometimes you would want to choose to have less fuel to reduce weight, to make your vehicle more maneuverable, but then you kind of run the risk of maybe not having enough fuel to get home, or maybe you burn too much fuel in a dogfight, pushing your engine too hard, going too fast. But the bottom line is that those two things that I noticed in the displays alone, not to mention the fact that the HUD on the MISC is just amazing. I mean, when you look at basically this Freelancer's HUD, that they took the elements off of a lot of the elements off the helmet itself and managed to wrap them around the screen. I thought that was a much better presentation. Also, I noticed as well, as kind of the last point here, when I was looking at the space combat, it seemed that the ships had a lot more drift to them, and that's what also makes me think that this goes in line with the concept I was talking about with the acceleration throttle. So if they've done this, that's a major boon for the game. If you're interested in seeing more how an acceleration throttle works, all you have to do is look up Evocron Legacy. You can either look on my channel, I've got a review on it, you can kind of see how that works, or you can look anywhere else on YouTube. Absolutely an astonishing game. It's like 25 bucks or so, made by one guy on Steam, and definitely worth checking out. You can also land on planets in that game as well. Well, you can't get out of your ship. It doesn't have that part of Star Citizen, but still, very impressive for one guy. Anyway, guys, leave me your thoughts down below. I mean, when you look at this, do you see what I'm seeing? Do you see the fact that maybe they're moving away from an absolute throttle to an acceleration throttle? And do you think that's an exciting prospect? And are you excited about the fact that it looks like they're adding some limitations to the EVA suits with fuel and oxygen, kind of adding that little bit more depth to survival? But anyway, those are just my thoughts real quick. We're going to go more into the entire presentation at the Blastcast. It'll be a little bit delayed this week. Once again, work-related issues. We've got a lot of manpower problems right now, and I'm filling in a lot of gaps. So it might be, once again, a day delayed instead of Tuesday. It may be on Wednesday, but that's just the way it rolls. If I can get out on Tuesday, I will, but just want to give you a heads up. All right, guys. Well, leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Today on the Blastcast, we discuss the Hornet revamp, GamesCon just a few hours away, some No Man's Sky stuff because why not, and some other miscellaneous. Today on the Blastcast.